Hi everyone, if you're joining me for the first time, my name is Adrienne and I empower moms to reject the status quo and embrace healthier lifestyle habits. This channel, I talk all about homeschooling things and school in general. This video, I'm going to talk about movement and taking brain breaks because we all need some breaks, right? When I was trying to do research to find like different research that has been done or different articles, the things that I was finding were kind of contradicting each other. So I would say the research is not conclusive on whether or not movement and brain breaks actually benefit in an educational system. Some things that I found showed improvement, then others didn't really. So I'm just going to speak from personal experience. I know that I need breaks throughout the day, and I know that my kids respond better when I give them breaks throughout the day. So I'll just put that out there. If you can find more research, or I should say better research, that points towards brain breaks being beneficial, drop that in the comments and I would love to read it because I was unsuccessful in my Scholar Google search in finding documents that said that. But I know from personal experience that they're beneficial. So they just haven't found the research and the studies to back that up yet. Different kids are going to need different kinds of breaks, different lengths of time. I have two very young girls who are very, very active, so they need to get out as many wiggles and energy as possible. We only sit and do school for maybe 10 minutes at a time, a couple of like 10-minute chunks, and then in between they have to have some kind of movement or jumping or some kind of something in between there to help them to sit still for another piece of what they're learning, whether it's counting or ABCs or whatever. So it depends on the kid that you have. And if you have a family of multiple kids, you're probably going to have multiple needs, right? Because we're all different. So some kids are going to do fine with just calmer activities. Some kids are going to actually need to get up and move around and really get rough and tumble. But then some kids are going to really struggle bringing it back. And I think that was the main concern in the research. The benefits of having a brain break were kind of taken away when you take into the effect that some of the kids took a really long time to calm back down once they had that break. So it just took away too much time from the learning experience and the learning environment. You know your kids best, so just do what works for you. And it could just be the day too. Some days we have here, it's just more calm, and then other days it's a little crazy. So you know your kids and you know what works. I'm just going to share some things that we like and things that we like to do, and you can pick from it or share it with other people that you think could benefit. So I know in our house, brain breaks are very important, taking short, quick breaks, nothing crazy, no prep. It's just like, okay, we're getting a little out of hand here. Let's take a quick break. And it does kind of help them reset. Sometimes they're getting a little extra sassy and they need just a restart. So we'll get up and do some jumping jacks or silly somersaults or talk in a silly voice or hop like a frog. And then we'll come back and they've kind of reset their mood or their attitude, and it just kind of helps them get back into what we're doing. So there are a couple YouTube channels that I really like for movement, and some of them are also educational. Jack Hartman has a bunch of videos. He does letters, he does all kinds of songs, and they're real sing-songy, and he has the kids doing movement in them. So sometimes if they need a break, I will put that on and they will get up and dance along with him while he's singing. That one's kind of a 2-for-1 because they are getting the movement in and also learning at the same time. Then there's another channel that my sister-in-law actually told me about. It's called Cuckoo. I guess that's how you say it, Kookoo. And it's these two guys. They're usually dressed in all black and they have like gold shoes on. And they have all kinds of silly, silly, silly songs that they sing, but they're very catchy. So warning, some of the tunes and words might get stuck in your head. And then another one, if you're wanting something that you can just throw up on the screen really quick, is gonoodle.com. I know a lot of teachers in public schools will use this like for indoor recess. It's just different movement activities to get the kids up and doing something different. So those are resources that you can tap into. And those are just a couple, 3. There are tons and tons. So you can look for others. And if you have one that's your favorite that I missed, drop that in the comments too. Now I'm going to share just some ideas that I do with my girls. My one daughter has special needs, so some of these can be like a multi-purpose, like a break and therapy. As many ways as I can sneak it in, I do. The first one is just stretching. Any kind of stretches, like you're preparing to run a marathon or just a quick stretch, anything to get them focused on moving their body in a certain way. Whenever I do this one, it always reminds me of elementary gym class. I'm not sure why, but I guess we started with that stretch every time we went. So some kind of stretch. Sometimes I'll just put on music. My girls love to listen to music, and we have a little dance party. Here's a little therapy one. It's called Heavy Work. So something that makes you work hard is good for kids with special needs. Carrying a basket of books is really heavy. Pushing a load of laundry or pushing your sibling in the laundry basket, anything that makes them kind of grunt a little bit when they're working is considered heavy work, and that's great to get them moving and doing that. We like to make animal sounds, running in place. If you're brave, getting out the Play-Doh. Sometimes you can put on music, or if you do like memory work that has songs, you can put that on while they're playing with the Play-Doh. Get your 2-for-1 in. Sometimes it's funny to have them close their eyes and draw a picture. So if you have older kids, that becomes quite comical, drawing a picture with their eyes closed. You can create poems with little magnetic words. They sell like little magnetic words in packs. We have some. I'm not even sure where they came from, but you just need some kind of metal surface, or they could even do it like on the table. We have a little magnetic whiteboard that they can do it on, or you could get out a cookie sheet and have them just kind of play around with that and make silly sentences or poems or whatever. You could go outside and take a nature walk if it's nice, just a little quick stroll around your yard. Maybe you're learning something in science that you can also do the 2-for-1, or just get outside and let them play in the sunshine. And if you're having a really rough day, it is totally fine to pause, put a pin in school for the day, and send them outside to play for 20 minutes, and then come in and try it again, or pick up where you left off the next day. It's not, you're not going to get behind, because they are learning so many other skills and life skills that are much more important than finishing that math lesson. The math lesson will be there for you when you're ready. You could also play Would You Rather. My 9-year-old is obsessed with Would You Rather. There's lots of resources online. There's books, there's joke books, silly things like that. We also have these, I should have grabbed them. They're called resistance bands. They're kind of stretchy. You can get them at the chiropractor. My daughter uses them in therapy, so you can play with those. Just be careful that they don't like snap each other. They're elastic, and sometimes they can sting if you pull it back and let go. So that you can do all kinds of things with them. You can tie them around your legs and try and walk, or tie your wrists together and try and break free. It's just a more it's resistance, right? Resistance bands. They provide more resistance for different activities, and it just gets them kind of that critical thinking piece of their brain is activated, because if your hands are like this and you can't go like this, maybe they have different ways that they could try and get their hands free. Jumping on a trampoline, if you have one of those, jumping in place, singing, doing like the little silly head, shoulders, knees, and toes song. You could play Simon Says or Mother May I. You can act like an animal. I found all these cute little animal cards on Teachers Pay Teachers. If you are a homeschooling mom and you haven't tapped into Teachers Pay Teachers, stop this video and go there right now. teacherspayteachers.com. Scroll down to the part where it says free and check the free box. And then if you want to put in your kids' ages, grade level, tons and tons of free resources that are adorable, and you don't have to recreate the wheel. I like to start there whenever I have anything that I'm looking for. But I did find some really cute animal cards that you could print off and laminate if you want to be extra fancy, and then you would just pick an animal card and have them do that animal, whether the noise or how the animal moves, whatever. So those are just a few of our ideas for when we need a break. If I missed one, drop it in the comments, and I hope that gave you some ideas that you can maybe start.